This is the Metal Queens podcast and Friday Night Metal on 105.9 The Mountain. I'm Steve Richards. Today I'm joined by one of hard rock's most fearless and authentic voices, Mixi, the powerhouse frontwoman of Stitched
Oh,
Up Heart. The band has returned. Their explosive new album, it just came out, Medusa, on Judge and Jury Records. The title track is a fierce anthem of survival, transformation, and reclaiming your power after betrayal. While the album features an incredible lineup of guest artists, including Lauren Babick, who's been on this podcast, also Lyric Noel, Butcher Babies 2, Nonpoint, Austin John Winkler, and Gina Fontanelli. We'll talk about mythology coming up, becoming reality, writing songs for the live stage, working with Howard Benson and Neil Sanderson's Judge and Jury Records, and so much more, too. But first, Mixi, welcome to Friday Night Metal and the Metal Queens podcast.
I am so stoked to be back.
It's great to have you again. You were on with Heidi the last time we had you. All right, so let's dive right into Medusa here. It feels less like an album and more like a declaration. At what point did you realize this wasn't just another record, but the beginning of a new chapter?
It's interesting because we went into the studio with no label at the time. We'd just gotten dropped from Century. So we were planning on doing this record ourselves. And there was a lot of let's just lose our shit. Like,
Yeah.
let's just have a good time and have fun. We don't have anybody telling us to write the specific radio song or anything like that. But let's just let loose and embrace our inner crazy, embrace that shadow self. I think that a lot of us are scared to really look at, but unless you really get to know yourself 100%, all the good and the bad, then you're not going to grow. And in the writing of this process, it was very much about being betrayed, being out for justice, for revenge, kind of very hurt and wounded, and turning it into fun, crazy, chaotic music.
The title track completely flips the traditional Medusa story. Why was it important for you to rewrite that mythology instead of following the version everyone knows?
I feel like there's a lot of moments where the woman's divine feminine power gets changed over time to the story. A lot of stories with women, whether it be Medusa, there's just so many women that just been turned into these monsters over time. Like they were just, Mary Magdalene, like all of these women that are turned into the bad guy. And I just wanted to take her story, show that she was betrayed, take her justice, and kill Perseus, who just killed her in her sleep after she was cursed, which I can relate to as well. And this time she kills Perseus. She just cuts the cord and cuts the curse and turns into a goddess. And I feel like there should be a sequel movie out like that. Just give her power back, you know?
Yeah. You work with Lyric Noel on Medusa. What did she bring emotionally that elevated that song?
Lyric had, so I didn't know that we were going to be best friends when I was going into it. I flew to Texas for
Yeah.
the shooting of this video. We worked with Michael Levine, and I stayed at her house for a couple of days, and we really got to know each other very well on spiritual levels, on just, like girls coming together and really supporting each other, which I think we definitely need more of. And she's just a really incredible vocalist and just a really cool person. So I'm learning a lot with how she posts stuff on socials too. So she's very good at social media. I post and stuff, but she has like a strategy. So I'm actually learning. I'm letting her take the reins on it because I'm like, you're good at this. Show me what you're supposed to do because I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's
It's a
been
whole new
great.
world with
Yeah.
social, and it changes daily with the algorithms. It's crazy.
Yeah, I used to have it down, but in order to stay up with it, you literally have to be on your phone all day, every day. And I honestly just don't have the time for that shit.
Yeah. Yeah. In addition to Lyric, who's great, The album has an impressive list of collaborations. Did each guest naturally fit each song, or did you write certain tracks with specific voices in mind?
Everything was written before. The features
Mm.
didn't come until Judge and Jury picked up the record. And we were just like, let's go creature feature on this. And let's just ask all our friends if we want to do stuff. We found different vocals that were specifically for each song. Um, well, Conquer Divide that came with Glitch Bitch, that was like a last minute. We hit them up like a week before because it wasn't going to have a feature. And then they came in, tracked the vocals, rewrote some of the parts in the verse that they liked differently, and flew out and filmed the music video. That worked out so perfectly. And it's kind of a full circle moment with them because we there's there is a picture of Conquer Divide up at some venue in Michigan at the Token Lounge. It's a picture of them with a stitched up heart ticket.
Mm.
So it's been there since they were kids, like since they were babies. And I didn't know of the band until we wrote a song called Conquer and Divide on the last record. And then I met them at NAMM. So music kind of brought us together in it. And then they were like, well, we should do a cover of Conquer and Divide. And I was like, that's funny. Um, so the music kind of brought us together. And then when I reached out, like we were trying to do something together, and then that worked perfect. It just worked perfectly. With her style and everything. With the 666, there's Alexia from I Set to Kill and Lauren Babick. And
Yeah.
that was like, we are going on tour together. So do you guys want to hop on this song? And Lauren's sober too. So 666 is about recovery or
Mm.
about why do I make myself so 6'6". She's never touched the stuff, but for me, yeah, so it worked. And with Heidi, I felt like I've always wanted, ugh, I've been so scared to ask Heidi for the longest time. So it felt very movie, like horror movie kind of thing. And Butcher
Yeah.
Babies has kind of that dark, like horror theme kind of thing. And I just thought that she would be perfect for it. And I was so scared. It took weeks for us to ask. And finally, and she was stoked. So it was like perfect, perfect song. She loved the song, flew out for the music video, or no, they drove out for the music video. Um, and then I flew to Lyric, and then Austin, he's part of Judge and Jury Records. I haven't met him yet. We exchanged like two text messages. So, um, and Love and Death is such a beautiful song. It's one of my favorites on the record. It's very much like I will uh, go to the end of time with you. Like I will die with you. Like let's go.
I
But
want to You
yeah.
want to ask you about another track here. A friend of mine and I just saw you. You just came off the Sebastian Bach tour. We saw you in Greenville, South Carolina. I was telling you about this before. So much older crowd at this venue. And we turned to each other. Okay, let's see what happens when she plays Glitch Bitch to this crowd, if it fires them up. And it was great just watching the reaction to it as they're hearing the lyrics to it. Was it fun stepping into these different characters while writing these songs too?
It always is. Like, I mean, this album is very much embracing your inner crazy, your little shadow self that's like always up to no good. And like the one that's pissed off and vengeful, that we all have. We all have a little bit of that. Let's not
Hmm.
deny that we're not all angels here. Like we've got some stuff that we got dirt on us too, right? But so it was fun. It was fun. And especially because we went in with it like wanting the energy to be like live show energy wise. We were very much in the mindset of what would be fun live. Like let's do like a bouncy thing and embrace the crazy. And yes, we had a good time. Very good
Yeah.
time.
The album sounds massive, but still very personal too. How did Cameron and Evan McKeever help capture both sides of that?
So when I did a session with Cam and Evan, it was just a writing session. We were going to go with a different producer originally. And when we wrote 666, the vibe just felt so perfect. I actually had to go with them. And it was like just when and when you get in the studio with someone that there's just like chemistry and the art that you want to create is exactly like what you want to do and it. And this was definitely one of those moments. And I hope we can work on more together because it was like the perfect combination of creators.
Judge and jury, they've become a pretty big name growing. What has working with Howard and Neil Sanderson taught you about making records?
Well, they are legends. I I've only gotten to like communicate a little bit with them. They're not as hands-on if the record's already done. But they've texted me a little bit back and forth about how much they love it and how all this stuff. And I did work with Howard when I was doing a feature for the Dead Rabbits single, and he's just a legend, and he's just so like easy to talk to, easy to be around. And we got to see all of his like platinum records in his house, and it was yeah, he's really cool. And the fact that they even acknowledged that the art that we created was good enough to like their standards is a massive compliment. So I'm very, very honored.
Yeah, Mixi and Stitch Up Heart, of course, out with Dead Rabbits last year. And Ayatoya, who was just on the podcast, by the way, she sends her best out of
Oh,
Chicago. Just had her on last week.
nice.
So, and speaking of touring, after years of touring, do you still get butterflies before stepping on stage?
So the first couple shows, I do always get a little nervous, especially because we usually like to add or change some things every tour, and you don't know what's going to happen. So Um, I'm pretty nervous the first show. Just got to get the kinks out, got to work on some tech things and just like job stuff. But after, it's not about the performance as much for me as it's just making sure everything goes smoothly. Because that's kind of also the job of that I have right now is I have to make sure that we got a new front of house guy that he knows how I personally like the mixes, or like there's an issue with the computer, somebody's got to fix it, and we don't got a tech person, so I'm gonna go run over there really quick and do that. But so the first couple shows are usually a little bit nerve-wracking, and then you get kind of into the autopilot, like the swing of things, and then I'm just making sure that double checking everything and making sure everything works perfectly because I'm more nervous about tech issues than anything.
Mm. Stitch Up Heart has always balanced vulnerability with heavy riffs, too. Do you think fans connect most with your strength or your honesty?
Hmm. I would want to say that the perseverance that it's taken in this career, doing this 15 years with this band alone. I was 15 when I first picked up a guitar, but um, it's taken a lot. And I hope that somebody looking up to me, like I look up to women like Joan Jett and like Lita Ford, and how they keep going. Um, and they don't let all of the troubles that I know that they've been through too
Yeah.
stop them from following their hearts. And if I can show anyone that like it's worth it, then and if you really, 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 really want this, then you definitely need to. You should do it. And hopefully I can show them that I can do it. I mean, I can do it. You can do it. You can do
Mhm.
it. Yeah.
Let's talk about snakes for a minute. The snake in the video. It turned out to be incredibly gentle. Did that become symbolic for you that things we're taught to fear aren't always what they seem?
Very much. And this was something I didn't even realize until we were shooting this. Half of the crew was terrified. There was like
Mm.
4 or 5 snakes there. One of them was misbehaving, so it couldn't be in the video. But this one particularly, as soon as I met it, I could tell its energy was so scared, and it just wanted to hide. And so I was just snuggling it and making sure it was okay the whole time. There was only one moment that I got a little nervous from the big one when it went into the tub, but I think that that is something that people people just assume things are scary without actually experiencing them sometimes. And sometimes what's scary is actually better than what looks normal on the outside. So I find that the most scary looking people even are the people that are willing and uh, not scared of showing who they truly are and like being themselves. I feel like the people that try to keep their composure as much as possible are terrified of people finding out who they truly are. And and so that's why I think I gravitate to the freaky looking people, just because I think that they're just honest and authentic about it, you know?
Yeah. You also devote time to animal rescue. Does working with animals help keep you grounded after the intensity of a tour?
Oh God, yes. I don't know if you can see my little kitten I'm fostering, Sekhmet, I named her. She's a little fireball. Um, she gives, I think I've done 115 fostered kittens at this point.
Wow.
She, it really is something that I feel like I can actually, sure, I give back in music in ways. So there's a lot of selfishness there. And I guess there's a lot of selfishness in having kittens for until they're up to their annoying teen phase and here,
Hmm.
adopt this. But I feel like I actually am doing something to help the world a little. Like even if it's as small as just a kitten, it's something. Like if we're constantly take, like then then the universe isn't gonna want to give back to something that's always just suckling it dry. Like help others, help the animals, do something. You know, we can all do something little and that would add up.
And I thought I was a crazy cat dad. We're up to four now. We just adopted an outdoor one, a stray. So, but you're at what, 115
No, I
fostering?
don't have.
No,
Uh,
total.
yeah, that's why I can't keep them though. But I did keep one foster here when
Yeah.
we got the house. But I have four fluffy cats of my own. Oh, my bad. I have three.
Right now.
One of them
Yeah.
passed away. She was 20, but um, and then the foster rentals.
Hmm.
So just one kitten, two dogs, and a horse. That's it. And maybe a dragon one day. I don't know.
If someone listens to this album, Medusa, from beginning to end, without knowing anything about this band, maybe watching this podcast, listening on the radio, what do you hope they understand about who Mixi really is?
I hope to be just some sort of a beacon of light for people to see themselves in what I do and know that they can do it. Maybe show them true authenticity and not to be scared to live your dreams.
Well put. All right, so the album Medusa is out now. You just came off the tour with Sebastian Bach this spring. I know you probably can't talk about it, but can we expect to see you on the road perhaps before the end of the year
Maybe. I don't know. We'll see.
or in the early new year? Maybe.
We're working on some things. I'm being very selective. But yes, that's the plan. Obviously, we have to go out and tour off the records. So, but I
Yes.
am being very selective.
All right. So follow them on social for more. Something I have a feeling is coming soon. Be sure to check out this incredible new album, Medusa. It's available now everywhere through Judge and Jury Records. And watch the new music video too for the title track featuring the great lyric Noel too. And follow Stitch Apart on all social media and catch them live too, hopefully soon. Mixi, thanks for joining me here on the Metal Queens
Thank you for
podcast
having me.
and Friday Night Metal. And don't forget to subscribe to the Metal Queens podcast on Spotify, YouTube, Apple, and wherever you get your podcasts. I'm Steve Richards. Stay metal. I will talk to you again next time.